Hi, I'm Sherry Miles, and this afternoon we will be talking about relationships under construction. When you came in, you were giving a relationship communication test. If you would just fill it out and kind of keep an eye on it throughout our presentation. At the end, you may have learned some tips. There's no right or wrong answers. It's true or false. And hopefully we can touch on some of these topics throughout this presentation. Throughout our lifetimes, we all experience personal relationships. We have these relationships that are like the Empire State Building. They're strong and meant to last, as well as relationships that after a time end up looking like something after a nuclear fallout. In order for relationships to flourish, we first need to understand how they are formed and ways to maintain them. In order to protect our relationships from nuclear meltdowns, we need to know the signs to look for in a troubled relationship. Communication is the key component in deciding the outcome of each relationship. The way we communicate is the foundation as well as the building blocks for constructing and maintaining healthy relationships. Each and every one of us experience personal relationships on a daily basis, whether with a spouse, a friend, a colleague, a coworker. By the time I'm finished, it's my hope that you will have a better understanding on how to build and maintain personal relationships through communication, as well as recognize the signs of dysfunction in communication that precede a relationship meltdown and strategies to help avoid these breakdowns. I plan to offer you some information about how to build, maintain, and possibly save troubled personal relationships through communication. As I stated before, in order to form long-lasting relationships, we first must know how they are formed. According to Duck and McMahon from 2015, relationships begin as just simple interactions. First, you have the general background, you have basic interests, general attitudes, way of thinking, and values. These are the things that we look for in people to see if we want to continue a relationship, if we want to build a personal relationship with this person. Also, according to Duck from 2015, the way relationships form can be represented in a relationship filtering model. As you can see in this model, the first filter is the appearance, how someone looks, if this is someone we want to approach. Second filter is behavior and nonverbal communication. Third filter is the role. What role does this person play in your life? Fourth filter is psychological similarity. And last but not least, you have the friend who made it through. This is the person that you will ultimately build some type of personal relationship with. Once a relationship is formed, that is when the real work begins. Relationships can develop and last for many years if they are properly maintained. Much like a car, there's some work that needs to be done in order to keep a relationship in good functioning order. Maintaining a relationship in almost every article, first of all, Dr. Clifford N. Lazarus from 2011 says that communication is both an expressive message sending and receptive message sending receiving process. The way we send and receive these messages will ultimately decide the direction of our relationship. In almost every article that I've read during my research, one point that continually comes up is limiting the use of technology and social media when communicating in relationships. Basically, stay off the phone and the computer while you're communicating with the partner that you're communicating with, and you will have a longer, stronger, better relationship. As stated by Sigmund in 1991, relational continuity constructional units, or RCCUs, are symbols that indicate a relationship continues even when the partners are physically distant. This is from Duck and McMahon from 2015. Perspective units is the interaction taking place is about to end, but the relationship remains. Introspective units is an absence has already taken place, and retrospective units is an absence has taken place and the relationship is reestablished through actual contact. Continuing to be flexible and respect the relationship by keeping the lines of communication open will help to maintain a healthier relationship. Despite our best efforts at maintaining communication in a relationship, sometimes those relationships begin to crumble. However, if you know what to look for, you might be able to save the troubled relationship before it is too late. According to John Gottman, PhD, there are 4 signs known as the 4 horsemen of the apocalypse to look for as predictors of a crumbling relationship. First, you have criticism versus complaint. You have contempt, defensiveness, and stonewalling. Any four of these put together or even by themselves are sure signs of a troubled relationship. There are also some symptoms that are precursors to these troubled relationships: deterioration in communication, destructive conflict, changes in evaluative standards, major transgressions, inequity, and personal reflection are 6 symptoms and sources of decline in a personal relationship. This is from Duck and McMahon, 2015. Also, according to Lambert, PhD, 2015, there are some antidotes to counter the communication breakdowns. A, learn how to mirror your partner's complaints. B, scan for whatever is valid in your partner's complaint and address that. 3, speak respectfully even when angry. 4, practice holding yourself and your partner in warm regard even when you're feeling distance and during a fight. Next, learn the skills of repairing damage in a personal relationship. Always live up to your agreements or renegotiate if you can. Sorry about that. Also, make all requests of your partner clear, simple, and specific. My husband used to say to me, "I am not a caveman. Tell me exactly what you want. Be specific." Practice sharing compliments, appreciations, and praise daily. It is clear that learning to recognize the 4 horsemen and applying the repairing strategies can help save troubled relationships. Today I discussed the ways relationships are formed, the ways they are maintained, and signs to look for in trouble, as well as strategies to combat any trouble due to communication and personal relationships. I hope that the information I've shared with you will be helpful in your future relationships. Please look back at the communication test that you filled out at the beginning of this presentation and see if perhaps you've learned some tips for improvement. Building strong relationships starts with a strong foundation that must be maintained in order to keep them from crumbling and becoming nothing but old ruins. Now that you have some of the basic tools needed to understand communication and personal relationships, my hope is that you will be able to construct strong, durable, long-lasting relationships. Thank you.